Hello, it's Monday evening. It's 8 p.m. UK time, 9 p.m. Central European time. It's time for Serbia. So let's introduce our guest tonight. We've got Donna all the way from Scotland. Hi,
Yep,
Donna.
I'm still here. How are you doing? I have not moved from this over since the last one.
I can believe that as well. And we say hello to Elliot, who maybe he's moved, maybe he's not, who knows?
I have moved. Not much, but I promise I have.
And we welcome the lovely Oban, who wants to move, but we won't let him.
No moving for me. Can't live without you guys.
So we're off to Serbia and Pesma za Evroviziciu. There's a mouthful. Look at Donna's laughing already. It's only going to get worse, Donna. That's the best one. So Serbia have been in the contest 16 times since its debut in 2007. They won the contest on the first go with Maria Severovic. Oh, yeah, you know who I mean. Singing Molitva. I'm not even drinking. So this year there were 2 semi-finals, 30 songs in total. They whittled it down to 16 for the final, where it was 50% jury, 50% public vote. Let's take a look at the first 7.
Žurka, koliko guza mrda. Ovo je luda kuća, ovdje je ljubav tvrda. Maska mog razuma, polako topi se, kaplje i nestaje ta voda. U odmoru je fretnja, u tišini smetnja, u mislima nove to. Čeka milo moje, da mi se vratiš, miloko moje, da se vratiš dugo, dugo. Hijene, leci za mene, hijene, srce bi tebe, moje zlo. Tuđe reči slabo pamtim ja, a njene reči slažem po policama sećanja, po policama sećanja.
So there we had Oxa Joe, Mama, Mimi Mercedes, Turbo Zerka, Vukela with Mask, Anna in the Changes with Brinham, Bieber, Datmi Sat Vrtatis. Yeah, yeah. Sounds all right to me. Bojana and David, Sesto Kulo, and Marsali with I don't know, Po Polikama Sekanja. That sounds right to me. I think I could go to.
What? You speak Serbian?
Serbia.
Yeah.
Practically fluent.
Oh, God.
Let's kick off with Donna. What did you think of those ones? I always get the good ones that, no.
Oh, tell you what, they're all better than your pronunciations, Michelle. Oh, but true. This was quite a variety, wasn't it? In this first 7, it was quite a good selection. My God, I'm not sure about the first dudes. I mean, they really should though. They should quit smoking. It's not good for them at all. I still can't quite understand what they were going for here. It was like a very sultry start, all in black and white, and then the smoke just constantly coming out from the back of their heads. It's like, will someone just get a fire blanket and put them out, you know? Yeah, Cure sounds not really really upbeat, getting you into the mood, but I didn't think this would probably go anywhere, which was, a bit of a shame. But it kind of got bigger and better as it went along. Then we got basically equivalent of a lady doing the haka next. This one was not for me at all. I think I'd rather have had the first one, which is a bit of a shame.
What was that weird low voice thing that she did?
I mean, she was pretty low throughout anyway, but it was a kind of thing. I'm not repeating that.
No, it's not right.
For me, it was kind of a bit like like Grease from last year mixed with Manitza as well. So it had that kind of sound, but yeah, just didn't work for me at all. It sounded more of a mess, which is a bit of a shame. Then we changed pace again and went back to Anna and the Changes. And it's like, oh no, we didn't. We went to the Raven Witchy lady who stole Goe's fairy thing. Fairy
Not the one with the
Cardi.
weird ninja gimps.
Yeah. In the boxes, who started off vaping too much. They'd clearly been watching the first act and then just sucking it all in, and then had to try and escape their boxes, which they managed to do eventually. No, I quite like that actually. I thought her vocal was pretty good, but it didn't go anywhere. Sadly, it kind of got to a point and then stayed there. But we're getting there. We're starting to build a bit more now. I think the one for me out of this, we get to songs 5 and 6, and it starts getting a bit more interesting. So I really quite like, is it Biba? The lady with the statuesque looking girls at the beginning, and it becomes it's a kind of a folky cultural sound. It's almost using the voice as an instrument as well at that point as well. I quite like it. And then the guitar kicks in. And I'm like, yes, I'm all up for a bit of guitar. It just rounds out the sound nicely. Yes, you've got a bit of interpretive dance going on, but hey, you can't help that, can you?
I think you can, Donna, yes. It's called choreography.
But it was certainly more... it kept me wanting to see the song from beginning to end anyway. So, yeah, that one and the following one with... is it Brianna and David? Yeah, that one again shifted another gear, and then we ramped it up to sort of 11. And Booby Armor's back. It's
Boob
back in
protectors?
fashion. Yeah, absolutely. The boob protectors are back. Bessa's just not the only one to start a trend. But yeah, I thought that one could have done better. But lots of dance break. Like you got over a minute and a bit of dance and music and no actual content in there. So it was a bit, but we'll see. Yeah, so we're starting to get into gear. Those two were my faves of the section.
Thank you very much, Donna. Oban. Come on, Oban. Let rip.
Okay, I have a problem with Serbia, right? So I'm gonna tell Bojana and David, they were my winner last year, and they were my winner this year. And I had their song "No No 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 No" on like a repeat all like for the like 3 months in a row. And then I saw the results, and they won the public by a mile, double the votes for the second place, and 0 points from juries. Juries did them nasty. That was uncalled for. And it was a great, like, it was nothing great vocals, but it was like not a 0 point vocals either. Like, it was on that lineup, it deserved points, like 0 points from jury. This was like, tells me this thing was rigged. Like, that wasn't 0 point. And then song number 1, actually I liked it a lot. Like, I found it like memorable, the smoky thing, and then like black and white. I felt like they were like, just cool down. They were on fire, and then they just cooled down before coming on a stage. So I was like, okay, get it, girl. Song number 2, I can't understand how this song was the fan favorite going into the like who are these fans? Like, if they are fans, I am not a fan. If I am a fan, what the F they are? I have no idea. The rest of this lineup was a little bit of, a little bit of everything, but nothing else, nothing much to mention.
Thank you very much, Oban. Right, I'm going to go next. Phil is silent during this because
I haven't watched them.
he's not watched it. So
No,
he's
I've been at work today. I
he's,
don't have a
he's here
chance.
to press the buttons because I can't be trusted.
You can.
So, Oxford Joe, weird shouty bloke that's on fire. Why are they all on fire? Why? That's it. Mimi, didn't mind this one. It was a bit different, but that low voice she did was a bit scary. I wasn't keen on that. Then in the middle, it changed to a completely different song. what was all that about? Michaela, she had a striking look, sang the song okay, weird ninja gimps escaping from boxes. I like the beat of the song. Anna in the changes, she held a guitar for ages before playing it, and you know that I can't be doing with stuff like that. Just don't have a guitar. If you're not going to play it all the time or pretend to play it all the time, don't have a guitar. It's stupid. All I'm focused on is when are you actually just going to play that guitar? It was just a bit dull. Bieber. What were those women doing? Why is the bloke so far away with the guitar? Quite like the song. That was back in the bad ramblings of me. Bojan and David. Loved this, loved the vocals, loved the staging. Not keen on the boot protector. And Masali, very casual and cool, something completely different. I loved it. All really young lads as well. That was really cute to see them as a band, because I think it was the lad on the bass guitar that had the bass like John Lennon, Paul McCartney. He just sort of like every time he could see that he was on the camera, and he went, and it was like the cutest thing ever. And I loved the harmonies. It was beautiful. I really like that one. That's me, Elliot. What did you think?
Yeah, so going on to the band, actually, the young lads, they remind me of LPS a bit, like in that similar sort of vein, like young lads all dressed up, just having a nice time. They were actually a reserve act who got through because someone got disqualified. And when they actually qualified for the final, their faces, I think one of them just screamed because they had no expectation. It was the cutest thing. Mimi Mercedes, yeah, she was the fan favorite. And what the fuck was that? Why was she in grey and orange? Weird concept together as well. Didn't look good. As you said, you have that sort of like trumpet sound, which is like Manisha, which is quite good. But then it's all just like, I know it was a bit like an empty linear stage, but they didn't do anything. And then said like doing like the rings thing was like, what is this song about? What are you chatting about, to be fair? Bieber, I actually really liked this. I thought it sounded really nice, but yeah, I don't need women twirling and leaping in front of the camera. You know, the song's good enough without all that going on, to be fair. Mask, again, really liked it. I think this is where RTS kind of screwed up because the semi-finals randomly drew their own slots in the final to kind of like, I think it's to protect themselves, like, oh, there's no rigging. So all the good songs got drawn at the start. It's like, oh shit, we've top-loaded this final. Yeah, the lads on Smoke on Fire, it's not for me. I like a bit of jazz and stuff, but this was just a bit like it's something I'm never, ever going to pay attention to. Boyana and David, now, loved this. Absolutely adored this. I said to Donna there'd be a song that would challenge for my favourite of the year if it won, and it was this. From first listen over a few months ago, adored it. Boyana, who did junior back in 2018, she's really improved. David's improved from last year. Even in the semi-final, they got placed last by the juries, only got 8 in the jury. So the juries do not respond to this type of music or them clearly for whatever reason. And just to make it more interesting, a friend of mine has done a proportional score. So the jury votes carried over, not transferred to 12, 10 and whatnot. And their televotes got percentagely into votes. Boyana and David have got 85 in the jury, no, in the televote, and would have won the show overall purely on their televote score. They would have won if the system was different. And I think Serbia should have sent it because it was the most striking standout song. Loved what they were wearing. I agree. I don't get why Boyana's like plastic boob cover was in a sky blue when no one else had anything else like it. But there was a lot of dancing, but it was a lot of full-on dancing, and the vocals didn't actually suffer as a result of it. And that's impressed me more than anything, that they didn't half-ass it. And in the final, they found another notch and really went for it. So I am actually gutted these two didn't win. But it is what it is. But yeah, it wasn't a bad final, but in the same vein, we started with a lot of the stronger ones, which made the second half a bit of a slog, to be fair.
Thank you very much, Elliot. Shall we have a look at the sloggy second half?
time to switch. Off the chains. Gurum gurum more more, gurum gurum more, gurum gurum more more, gurum gurum more, gurum gurum more more. No gledamo se, a dovoljan nije keks. Jednako tako ja. Ovo je ego flex.
Skalije, do kraja sveta, cijela planeta, kome da smo sve spržena, tvoja mama, tvoja je sloboda sve.
So there we have Prince with Mila, Sedar, Oki Boj Zemlj, Lenski, Huvalta T, Milan Nikolic featuring, would you say that's Kaka? It is, isn't
Could
it?
be, yeah.
Yeah. Story Adele and more. Harem Girls, Aladdin, Tam, Durham, Filari, Meet and Greet, Iskaz, Trendsetter, and Cruz Rudy with Sveti Odma.
Apologies to anyone in Serbia.
Best I can do, I'm sorry. So we won't mention the winner. We'll keep that as a surprise for in a bit. So let's kick off with Elliot. What did you think of these rubbish second half songs then?
Well, to be honest, even in that recap, when I look back, it's like, yeah, there's only two that just stuck out for me in a positive sense, which
Just
was,
mention them then, that's fine.
well, let's say Trendsetter, brilliant bonkers polka rock band, thought it was fantastic, great bit of energy. And Haram Girls, I thought they were fantastic. And it was actually nice to see a group of drag queens in such a, serious nation of Serbia. It was nice to see something like that on nationwide TV. And they were brilliant. I would have liked when it kicked off in the last 30 seconds to be more in the middle of the song or something. Like, I felt they waited a bit too long for that. But I thought they were fantastic. Their makeup, their outfit, everything was so put together and fantastic. And if I could look that good with blue foundation on my face, I would do that as well. I mean, why not? But those two definitely stood out for me. Milan, what's her face, with the really bad polka song with like the chicken dress. What the fuck was she wearing? That white thing and then like the feathers on it. And then it's like
swan.
really...
I thought she was a swan.
Was she?
Well, I thought so. I thought, oh God, it's an accordion and a swan.
It's a bad polka song. You sound like at a wedding with a bloke just in the corner playing the accordion. It was dreadful. And I was like, how has this got through the semi? Oh dear, it's all gone a bit wrong. Lindsay Flaherty, I liked her voice. It was a bit shouty at points, but I did like how dramatic it was. Tam, not lyrically, sonically, it sounded quite cool and underground, but she was letting all her dancers do the work. And she sort of just stood there and was like, "Hun, you've got to do something yourself. You can't do more than just sort of like sway to the side a bit with the songs like this, because it just gave very much, I can't be asked. You will do it around me because I can't be bothered." And Flaherty, I hate these sort of self-absorbed songs, and it was very self-absorbed. He's in a black tank top, flexing at one point. I was like, "Oh, just get in the bin." Like, I can't even be polite. It was woeful. And again, a lot of the fans like this song. So when I saw a sort of tank, I did smirk a little bit. It's like, yeah, it was dreadful. So you know what? I think my favorite was the band though. That sort of like rock polka band. It was a lot of fun. And if they did select it and send it, it could have done well. It would have reminded me a bit of like Moldova and Subsea Dub. Not Subsea Dub.
Yeah.
No, it was that band. Yeah.
It is exactly that. That is what is written in my notes. You will find out soon.
It kind of gave me that sort of like, yes, it's a bit chaotic, but it's making me smile, and the voice is actually all right with it all. And you know what? That's sometimes what you just got to just wind them up and let them go, and that's what happens.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Elliot. Right, I shall whip through them all. Sedlar, traditional flute thing. Song was just dull with a moon. There you go. Lenski, not another bloody moon. How much did that cost? Because they're getting the money's worth out of it. Song was not the best. She had the weird wounds on her back that were sequined. What's that about? She showed you the wounds, all sort of sad, then turned around and went, now the next bit's jolly. And I was like, oh, right, this is, it's took a turn. You can't, make your mind up. Milan, Oh God, it's an accordion and a swan. Very Serbian beat, sang it well. Harem girls, drag queens, loved the outfits, loved the makeup, loved everything about it, but the song was bad. Bad. Expected more. Bloody moon. I don't know what was going on. Tam, Durham Durham. Very traditional sounding, but her vocals on her own were weak. I loved the mix of old and new. Filari, blimey, bit of filth. Very on trend, black and red. It was a bit samey for me, and it didn't really go anywhere. Loved the dance break, but then it ended. It ended on the sort of dance break. I thought that was slightly odd, but that's okay. It's Kaz, black and red again. How many black and red have we had this year? Slightly more than moons, I think. It's all gone a bit zobsy dub, but I loved it. It's a bit more like it, but not very trend setting. If you're going to be called trendsetter, don't copy somebody else. That's not trend setting. Cruz Rudy, are they all dressed as wizards? Were they dressed as wizards? Started off liking it, but then I got a bit bored of it. The staging made no sense. And that was what I thought of that. Oban, what did you think of these songs?
These songs torture me one after the other. I'm like, I'm like, you just need to like stay focused. It's like you have a show to do. You have to push through this. Like I'm thinking, Settler. He had the flute guy from Zeliko Joksimovic performances, but the song was like very blues, very jazz, and like didn't it didn't make sense. And then Lenzi, same song last year, good old Serbian vocals, dramatic ballad, and you know, Milan slightly cringe, and this is me being nice. There were a bunch of cultural elements, but it's she was cringe. She was like what that treadmill had to do with anything. Like they didn't use it. Like there was no camera angles that make it making her look like moving without showing the treadmill. Like what's it didn't get it. Harem Girls, Pussycat Dolls, Serbian version. There was just one singer, and everyone else was bystander. It was just like they weren't the vocal group. They were performance group, and I don't like it. Tom Tuji, you remember from Norway? He remind me his song a little bit, the vibe, the color palettes on staging. Filari, Ego Flex, he did deliver on that. Luke Black, he reminded me a little bit of Luke Black. Iskas, yeah, Moldova, Zupsi Zupsi Dup. Um, and then obviously the last song, I think that was the only one has like a little bit memorability, not
The Wizards.
listenability. Yeah, the Wizard. It wasn't listenable. It reminded me Constructa, no vocals, but intriguing. So yeah, uh,
Thank you very much, Oban, for that beautiful review of
sorry.
Donna, can you articulate it a bit better than that?
Not really, but I'm sure. I'm sure the backdrop that Trendsetter used with the startled sheep could. I couldn't quite work out. It was the funniest bit of that second half, actually, the Trendsetter, and I think obviously we're all likening it to Zubsy Dub because they kind of came there first, but LT United
Donna,
as well.
Well, Donna, the sheep. Phil's got an interesting fact.
Well, just Zobsy Dub did an album called 450 Sheep, or well, it translates as 450 Sheep.
So was it just a blatant rip-off?
Or was it a tribute? Let's put it that way. Could have been a tribute.
It wasn't the greatest song in the world.
It was a lot of fun, though, especially towards the end. I think I would have preferred that at the end rather than have the Wizards at the end. My notes sort of said, yeah, it's Harry Potter Wizards with starry capes. Very Britpop sounding, actually. I thought, but there wasn't really any really oomph to it, which is a bit of a shame. Yeah, Harlem Girls, actually nice drag outfit. I thought the performance was quite good, but yeah, as you pointed out, Oben, there's only really like 1-2 singers when she comes on with her moon. Yeah, what was with the moons in this half? We got an accordion in there as well. So if you had that, cross it off your bingo card now.
And a swan.
We've had a lot actually in the various national finals, haven't we, this year? And then the flute came back for the other one. I think 2 ballads in a row as well was a bit much actually. I think out of that as well, the dum dum, it stood out a little bit for me in the way that it reminded me a lot of like Dum Tek Tek and Voda. Do you remember Voda from 2009? It had that same kind of drive in the song. But again, something. Yeah, we should do. We'll have to remember that next time. We'll have to issue one out beforehand, and you can all
print it out. Print it out at home. Play a lot.
We could do that for a lot, actually. Maybe a new venture forward. Watch this space. Yeah, so that was really my notes. So, as everyone else had pointed out, the ones that stood out because they're a little bit more visually and auditory stimulative. But yeah, I didn't like Fillery at all. It reminded me a bit of a Bad Gay Disco or some Bad Gay adverts from the 1980s. Yeah, what can I say?
If you're going to do sort of filth, do it properly.
Yeah, it wasn't down and dirty enough.
No, it was a bit. I know we moan about how much filth there is, but you could tell that this was supposed to be filth, and somebody had gone, no.
Yeah.
No. That was
we
it.
Can't cross that line.
Nope.
So, yeah, it was a bit of a mixed bag second half, sadly.
Thank you very much, Donna. Shall we have a look who triumphed overall of Serbia?
Naslov kompozicije je Mila, a izvod je Princ.
Princ, Mila. Da pogledamo promenu. I evo odgovora na poziciji broj 6. Bojana i David 6 čulo i sada je jasno. Bravo i bravo i bravo. Za kompoziciju koja se nalazi na prvom mestu naše tabele nakon glasova stručnog žirija i publike. 2023. za malo, sada pobednik.
Mila, ti si platila što volim te ja. Mila, život vratila sa ruba. Mnogo razloga da ipak voliš drugoga. Tako mi je stalo da te čuvam.
So there we have it. That's Prince with Mila. Not only did he have a crescent moon, he was sat on a crescent moon in front of a full moon. I'm not an expert on what happens in the sky, but there's only one moon.
Okay.
There's only one moon.
I like Professor Brian Cox.
Oh, Elliot, was this Beauty and the Beast?
Maybe. I don't know. Either way, it kind of passed me by the final. I don't know if it's because the Balkans love a long national final. At that point, I was losing the will to live. Or because I was at that point bitter that Boyana and David actually won the televote and the jury had sacked them. Like, I'm not sure. He sings it well. Like, he sings well. I can't deny that. However, I am never going to be a fan of the Balkan ballads. Some people adore them, but I don't. If I want a traditional ballad in a native language this year, I'm going to go to Greece. I'm not going to go to this. I feel the same as Montenegro. I feel like I'm just being shouted at a little bit. Like, it's fine, it's nice, but it's nothing special. The most interesting fact about him is that he was meant to compete in 2022, but withdrew because he fell out the songwriter. So Tiana from Macedonia took the song instead and competed with it because he had a falling out. But it's all right. he has said there will be changes to the staging already, and yes, it needs it because, like I said, you just sat on a moon looking a bit brutish in a tank top and your long hair. You're gonna need more than that. I mean, there's only so much the wine mums can carry you on a Thursday night. I'm sorry.
I'm a wine mum.
That's me. I know who will enjoy this, and
Is it me?
But is it? Yes, but is it on the song or how they look? I mean, in both camps of Aladdin's composition, we know that. But yeah, it's all right. But like I said, I've never been a big fan of these Serbian Balkan ballads. Like even the Shledko and everything, I've never really connected to them. So it's not for me, but not bad. But it's not the song I would have picked at all.
Well, thank you very much, Elliot. Let's go to Donna. Donna, I know you're not a mum, but you like some wine. Do you like a bloke with long hair sat on a moon in front of a moon?
I don't know about the moon parts. However, I do like a bloke with long hair who's got a nice, tasty voice. So, you know, it goes a long way to ticking some of my boxes. If I had to pick a ballad, this would be the one I would pick. And I thought, yeah, the staging needs a lot of work. But overall, his performance is still very good. He's got a really good voice, probably one of the best in the contest. So, and he's definitely nice to look at.
If one of the blokes said that about a woman, we go mental.
Yeah.
Oh, well, good old sexism at work. We love it. Oban,
Sorry.
did this give you a cultural orgasm?
Cultural orgasm, no. Some orgasm, yes.
That is so short on YouTube.
I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't consider this as a Serbian Balkan ballad. No, this is not. This is like nothing compares to Željko. Nothing compares to Jelena Tomasovic's Oro. Nothing compares to what's her name, Kruna from Israel, Tel Aviv, Nirvana. Like nothing compares. It's like no musically. It's like nothing compares. However, it's a good ballad. He's a gorgeous man. He has a gorgeous voice. I agree, staging needs work. Like, yeah, he needs to pull off some. What's that Cypriot in Liverpool? The guy from Australia represented Cyprus.
Lambrew.
Yeah, Lambrew. He needs to pull some staging like he's like set the stage on fire and work out a little bit more. Show us those guns and show us some passion or something. Then it might work for you. Then you might make it to the final, and that's the best you can hope.
Thank you very much, Oban. So I started with Exploding Rose. Is that Beauty? Is that the petals falling off for Beauty and the Beast? Oh, if he's the Beast, wouldn't mind seeing the Beauty. Wouldn't that be good? So sat on a crescent moon in front of a full moon. Oh, more people dangling. How many people have we seen dangling this year? And then I liked his sparkly trousers. Nobody's mentioned that. Nobody even looked at his trousers. I did. He had nice sparkly trousers on. I think he sings it really well. I think there's tons of emotion when he is singing it. And then, because we didn't have enough dangly people, another woman turned up, all sort of dangling, swinging, just going round, just flinging herself round and round and round. Must have knocked her sick. I was just waiting for her to be sick. I thought, this is it. This is the winning moment.
She meant to be the Rose.
Oh, I don't know. Oh, deep, Donna, deep. Ooh. I'll email someone and ask. But I thought it built and it built and it built. Then you got a bit of meaty guitar at the end just for good measure. I liked it. I thought it was all right. There was nothing wrong with this song whatsoever. So, everybody, shall we discuss? It is in semi-final 2 with Armenia, Australia, Austria, Greece, Ireland, Latvia, Lithuania, Montenegro, Czechia, Luxembourg, Denmark, Finland, Georgia, Israel, Malta, and Serbia are in the second half of that. What do we think? Is it going to get lost in there? Is it going to stand out? Anybody?
I
Nobody?
think it's got a hard time, to be honest. It's not what I'm looking at. Yeah, definitely through, because it's going to be the fourth ballad in a native tongue by the time we get to it, because you've got 3 in the first half. The only thing in its favour, maybe, it's only 1 or 2 male voices in that semi-final at the minute. It's a very female-heavy semi-final, so that will stand out. But it's going to be difficult for Serbia. I think I'm not convinced.
I'm not sure. Oban, what do you think?
I think it's like this is the worst year for betting websites because I don't think I can't see like besides just 1 or 2 in each semi-final. I can't guarantee anyone a qualification. It will definitely come down to the final performance, live performance on the staging, because the songs are like 80% of the songs are just middle of the road. Just middle of the road, and it makes qualification anyone's game.
And the final word goes with Donna.
Well, if it's positioned just in the right place, and we know they say this time and time again, it could be the palate cleanser that everybody needs, which could sway it enough to get to the final. It is probably borderline at the moment, but then again, you've got so much vibrant stuff in that second half. It might just sway it over the line. How it'll do in the final, I don't know if it got there. Honestly.
You have to remember who's got the money as well when voting. It is the wine mums.
Yeah, absolutely. And there will be some ballads that people will be crying out for at that point to get through, so it stands as good a chance as any. And, if he's got the looks and the right staging and that voice, it could be enough.
Okay, brilliant stuff.
I
Right.
think it comes down to how Lithuania and Montenegro sound, because I think they're the two that it's fighting against. Because Lithuania's kind of like a ballady, moody song. So I think they're the two he's got to rubber out, because I think Greece is fine and Latvia's a bit too different. So I think if Nina
is Lithuania the band?
Yeah.
Is Lithuania the grey band where he's just got his head down all the time?
The ones that feel like they're escaping from prison now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
The daddy
Freya. Yeah.
I like that. That's going to qualify. What's wrong with you?
Yeah. It's going to be difficult, I think, but we'll see.
So until next week or this week or whenever, we'll see you then. Bye.
Bye.